And we are live. This is Andrew Cox with Promotional Media. I'm here with Swift Homicide. If you
Yeah.
could, sir, please give us a quick introduction of who you are and where we can find you. And if there's any different variations of your tags on social medias, make sure you spell it out and stuff like that for all of us.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No. So I am Swift Homicide, the one and only. I am the only Swift Homicide. Proper spelling, no fanciness. You feel me? You can find me. You can find me on all platforms, social medias. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You can find me on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Yeah, everywhere.
Everywhere.
You could Google me. That's the easiest way.
There you go. I like that. I like that. Google him, man. He's there.
Yeah.
So I kind of like to just give people an opportunity to understand the person, who's Swift Homicide. So also, if we could, man, you don't have to give your full name, but, whatever, as far as first to middle, last, what's your real name?
Oh, real name, Robert Harlan.
Okay.
Yes.
So I want to kind of give people an opportunity to see who Robert was and is to get you to be Swift Homicide. So if we could go back kind of like early years, where were you born, kind of relationship with the parents, between you and them, kind of school activities and stuff like that. So we'll start with where were you born and parents, what's dynamic with them.
Oh yeah. So here, Stockton, California, born and raised. All my life, never lived nowhere else. Just all different sides of town. I lived out east for a little bit, lived on the north side for a little bit, lived out south for a little bit. Just here and there. Growing up though, it was cool. It was cool. My dad really wasn't. He was in and out the picture. Growing up and everything. So I was raised by my mom and my grandparents for a while. I think my dad came back around when I was maybe 15 years old.
When you say your mom and grandparents, did you all live in the same house?
Yes.
I think that, dude, so one of the things that I've heard in some of the circles that I listen to, the household of mom, dad dynamic, kids, nothing stronger.
Yeah.
Except possible the multi-generational household.
Mm-hmm.
So having the grandparents there on top of, of course, mom and dad would have been the best, but mom too, and then kiddos, that's a very, very strong family unit for sure. When
definitely
when y'all live together. I myself have been privileged to experience that also, so it's really nice, man. It is really nice. And same dynamic too, except for dad never came back for me, man, just mom,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Father figures, but yeah, no real dad. I just tried to have that out in Florida, and dude, he's still a drunk piece of crap. And I guess since I wasn't following in those footsteps, he decided me and my wife providing ourselves with work and providing them with money wasn't enough, and so I had to leave. But anyway, so yeah, when you were growing up in the household, what was that like? Brothers, sisters? Did you kind of run amok?
I got sisters. 2 sisters. I was a little bad kid. You know what I mean? I was pretty bad. I got into a lot of trouble. You know what I mean? Fights in school, shit like that. Me and my sisters always getting into it all day long. But my grandma, she was the disciplinary. You know what I mean? She was the one that and she from the old school. You know what I mean? She's originally from East St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's near my parts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, St. Louis, and I know that's Illinois. I mean, you're talking East St. Louis, Illinois, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Right. That's, it's That's where, I mean, it's rough out there, bro. Like it's
no,
pretty
I
bad. That's
know.
where the strip clubs go. That's where you, if you want to go to those, you gotta go out there, man. But yeah. Okay, so she's, yeah, definitely a tough lady for
Oh
sure.
yeah, definitely. So we didn't get away with too much, and then for what we did do, no, she put the belt to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
we need a little bit more of that, though. I mean, you seem like a really, really good guy these days, dude. Like, from what I know personally, man, I do think that you're a really good man, good father, good friend. I think that the belt probably helped.
Oh
It
yeah,
got you
yeah,
to where we
yeah,
are. Yeah, for sure. Same here. Whatever discipline my mom threw at me, until I got too out of control. Once there became a point where she just kind of had to let me do me. There was just too much that happened in my past that she couldn't really. We could only kind of coexist into I'll please, and all right, maybe type relationship, but she was always there. But yeah, man, I always fall back onto the memories of I mean, she's pulled the spoon out, stirring a hot pot, of
oh yeah,
water, and you see the steam, it's like smoke. Whop coming at you, you can see the smoke or the steam come off your
for real,
skin,
for
right?
real.
It's like,
My grandma, she used to whenever we go out anywhere, she used to carry a paint mixer stick. And fucking and she used to
That's awesome.
yeah,
Hey, win
yeah,
for grandma there. W for grandma. That's
man, for
that's
real, for real, bro.
that's
She used to carry that
intense.
motherfucker around in her purse, bro, and you get out of
What?
line while we out in public.
So quick
Oh yeah, you wouldn't
and
even know, bro.
loud too, I bet. Like a
Oh yeah,
snap.
oh yeah, for real,
Where'd
for
you get
real.
it? Where would, like, I mean, would she aim at a particular spot or just
Oh
whatever's
fuck,
open?
fuck no, it's just wherever you at, bro. She smacking. Move. You better not
You
move.
better hope you better hope you're not in like face
For real,
level, keep walk like this all the time.
man, for real, bro. For
Oh,
real. She didn't play.
that's
She didn't play, bro.
that's great. Is she still around?
No, 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 no. She passed some years back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sorry
Cancer,
about
everything.
that. Yeah, that's
But yeah,
terrible.
but yeah, yeah. No, no. She lived it
Um,
though, for real.
yeah, how old? How long was she? How old was she when she
She was
passed?
70, 72, 73.
And that's, dude, in my opinion, that's way too young, bro. Like, for
Yeah,
real.
yeah,
That's so young, dude. And I know
yeah.
people be like, young. Yes. Me, I want to do, you know what? I was just, a couple people that I know, they said this to me. They're not the only one. It was crazy. Somebody just said it. And I was like, man, you're not the only one that said that. They're like, dude, you're gonna live to be like 120. And the whole reason is because dude, I want to live for as long. I mean,
Yeah.
without really putting science involved. Like, I don't know, I'm a Christian man, so I ain't trying to
I got
like go against
yeah.
God's design.
Yeah,
But if he
yeah.
can push me to 120 or plus, I'm on it,
I
So
I got a limit with that. I'm like, I only want to live that long if I'm able to get around and do for
right.
myself. If I'm sitting there shitting on myself, pull the fucking plug. You know what I mean?
Hey, this is what I said. I said to my wife, to my family, man, if that's the case, dude, buy the good wipes because I don't want to get a rash. You better put me in front of a TV and just wipe me down and feed me, and I'll be good. I'll live to a vegetable. I don't even care. I'll put that burden on my family.
Man, I can't do it, bro. I don't want to. I
Yeah.
don't want
Hey, we all have our different
you know.
wants and
I'm
needs.
like, fuck, take me out of here, man.
That's good. um, yeah. What about Grandpa, man? How was he?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So he was pretty chill. So he was a lot older. There was like a what 19, 20 year age difference between
Okay.
my grandma.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Back
so
then.
already, he was already older. Like he was like in his 70s already when I was growing up. And so fucking yeah, he was just chill. Like he had some stories to tell. He's from Arkansas.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
What part
And
of
so
Arkansas?
shit, I'm not even sure. I
Okay.
never. Yeah, I can't remember, but
no worries.
But yeah, no, he was one of them old school cool ass motherfuckers. This motherfucker had his fucking Copenhagen, the dip, tobacco
Oh
dip.
yeah,
Yeah.
you
I was
got
like,
it.
okay. Uh-huh.
Did he have a spit pen or did he have spit
Yeah.
pen cup?
Had the little can and shit. Had the little can with it. Fucking, he loved watching baseball and shit all the damn time. I hated it. Fucking, he used to come on, sit down, and watch some baseball with me. What the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm not a very big sports guy anyway, but man, baseball's boring, dude.
Oh yeah.
Boring. Why do they call that America's pastime? What does that mean? I mean, does it mean like because the time feels like it never fucking passes? It just is so slow. It's eternity, dude. Is what it feels like.
I would say like that was like something that like all Americans agreed on. Like, okay, like we're all getting along to watch some fucking baseball.
Okay.
I mean,
Sure.
I don't give a fuck, nigga. You go owe me $20 tomorrow. This game is
right.
on right now.
right. Okay, maybe I can see. Yeah. Well, growing up, any kind of sports, like what was your school life like?
Oh man, fucking.
Start with middle school, just because elementary usually is not too much, you know.
Oh yeah, no. So like elementary school, it was cool. I was smart, but I was like, I didn't like showing it. You know what I mean? So it was like I fucked up on purpose, just so to avoid that label of being a nerd. You know what I mean? Even though I was really smart as fuck. And
so you don't want to be held up to a good expectation.
Yeah.
Like, wait. We got a competent dude. Hold on. He can do shit. Like, no, I can't. No, I can't. Watch me fumble. Whoa, no, I can't do it.
What's up? Exactly. So it was like, you know what I mean? It was like I was smart as shit. Fucking yeah. Fucking I just fucked up on purpose. I was a class clown, like talking shit. You know what I mean? Always
very similar.
Yeah, always a fan of music. You know what I mean? Since a baby. And but no, school was cool. I didn't really start getting into too much trouble, like fights and shit, until like later on. You know what I mean?
Did you do any sports?
No sports at all. Fucking, I played sports, like I'll play football, basketball with my friends and shit outside of school, but never like in school. You know what I mean? But my main thing that I like doing was skateboarding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dude, did you wear the Jinkos and shit?
Oh yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
That's
bro.
What's up. Me too, dude. I had I think I had two. I had a black and just regular denim 32-inch Jinkos, man.
Oh,
that I would have my I think at one point I had 12, maybe 11 chains on my wallet. All of them like
have chains on the motherfuckers. Yeah.
Hey, dude, look. All right. Now I do not promote this by any means. I was a young idiot, all right, but we were out drinking and driving. We were dude, I was an adult doing that, not 16 doing that, right? So, you know, you got to be careful with that, right? Mm-hmm. So anyway, we go on a street that curves, like it takes a hard turn, and after the turn there's a pond, but there's a power pole and a little hit of woods. Mm-hmm. And my uncle, he goes driving forward instead of turn, just go straight, man. And we stop right before smacking into the pole, but only on the corner. It would have just hit the corner, deflect us. So during the daytime when we went back, we saw if we would have hit it, it would have deflected us right into the pond. You know, we would have went down into the water. Who knows what would have happened then? But anyway, we got stuck in the mud trying to reverse out. And I was like, I got an idea because I saw the wheel spinning. Just one wheel was spinning. I'm like, I got an idea. If we could just stuff something in there. I took out my wallet. I unhooked the chains and I stuffed the chains underneath the damn tire, dude, and whoop, 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 pulled them right out, dude. So
shit.
Not only has it saved us from getting in big trouble then as well, but I pulled them, man. I pulled them out. I've swung them on people before.
Oh
you
yeah,
know, I had some big ones, dude. I will whoop you with them.
For real, bro. Them motherfuckers coming handy.
Yeah, they did. They did definitely. So, skateboarding, huh?
Yes, indeed. Yes,
What
indeed. That was the main thing.
What would you like? What was your most intricate trick that you can do?
Shit. I say it's probably fakey big flip.
All right, man. So I don't know what that is specifically.
So pretty much it's it. All right. So fakey, you know what that position is, right? All right.
Nope.
So you're all right. Say you're riding on. All right. We'll explain this. So say you're riding on the board, you know, and you got your tail and your nose. Your back foot's on the tail of the board. So riding fakie would be with your standard back foot on the nose of the board.
Oh, okay.
So pretty much riding it backwards.
I got it.
And then so a big flip is pretty much like doing a 360 flip in that position with a body variation. Boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that was probably my best trick.
What like when you go half pipes?
I was never a vert skater. I was always just street.
All right. So I was curious. So look, first time I ever tried it, it was the tiniest little dip. I go pow, just slap back. I was like, I'm done.
That's why I never fucking did it, bro.
Yeah, see, my risk assessment, if it don't pass, I don't play.
Oh, for real, bro. Right. I so like even though I was a skater, bro, there was a lot of shit I did not do. Like certain amount of stairs, like okay, I'm only all right, no, that's too high for me. Like no.
Well, what's your number then? I get you jump stairs. What was your number? What was the highest that you would jump?
There was like this big ass 4-stair that was down the street from my house, but it was probably about maybe like 4 foot.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it was 4 foot drop.
If you don't know how to land on wheels while moving forward, like that's very. I always found skaters to be entertaining to watch, dude. Those tricks, the level of control while flying through the air and flipping your board and still having control of it while you're not even touching it and you're in the air. That's amazing. That really is. The physics behind it is
magic, bro. Like,
it is. It really is, dude. Because especially when they go real high, man. It's like they float. You know, because you can see. I process this like, whoa, what the hell is he doing as he's flying through? Like, dude, he can do a lot.
So you know, like if you watch the X Games and shit, bro, and you see them motherfuckers do them long ass gap jumps.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm like,
I've seen
on a bike or fucking
dude, the bike shit's crazy too.
Something, you know, you're good. But on a fucking skateboard for you to fucking
man, that's
50 feet, nigga, fuck you.
How and you dude, the impact on your knees. I know you go down in the incline. It's all physics, man. Like it's all But in my mind, I'm like, hey, if you don't have that math problem, that math better be on, because if it ain't, you're busting your shin through your fucking chin. Like, you know, you're just like,
that. Like, you know, you gotta know how to land. If all the motherfuckers bail out hella time, so it's like, bro, you just fell flying 50 feet across.
How'd that feel?
How did you land properly and not be injured and get back up and go do this shit again?
Yeah, let me go try again, dude. Insane.
I would have tumbled all the way down that motherfucker, bro. Like, it would have been over.
That is damn near the sense, the thought process. That's like young man shit, dude. That's invincibility. They can be, there's nothing that can touch me. You know, I'm invincible. And they break their leg, right? And that thing starts flopping around. And they go get a cast. And like, I can't wait to go back out there and try it again, dude. You know, you're brittle. You are brittle, dude. It's so yeah, that always amazed me to watch him do those things. Like it was great, you know.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I put blades on rollerblading, you know, because I didn't like the thought of, again, you're not attached to the board. I don't like that, you know. You fuck up, that board goes, phew, you know. I like to have my blades on me.
Yeah, that board's gonna survive the landing. You might not.
Right. So well, then moving into like high school, what kind of still kind of like a jokester or whatever? Did you graduate? Do you got a high school?
Yeah. So I graduated, but it was later. It was later in life. You know what I mean? I went
Same
back to
here,
school.
dude.
You know what I mean? But yeah. So I say after middle school is when the joking around stopped. You know what I mean? It was like, all right, we're in the high school now. Let's go ahead and let's buckle down a little bit. And then I ended up going to this. It was an alternative school. It was called Model Alternative. It was out here right behind Weber and shit. But anyways, yeah. I was supposed to graduate. Something happened.
Was it a good school? Good school.
It was okay. It was all right. And then I was supposed to graduate. Toward the end, they were like, "Oh, we made a mistake on your transcript. You're short some credits. Some shit happened." You know what I mean? I tried to make it up over the summer, but then shit had happened. That's around the time my grandpa had passed away. And so I ended up just getting the job, working after high school and shit. And
what kind of job?
Yeah.
What kind of job was it? What work?
Oh, so first job I ever got, it was like a seasonal job with UPS, doing deliveries, helping the driver and shit. And then
so you'd be a ride along.
Yeah.
Like they would drive and you go do the package. I didn't know they did that. That's cool. All right.
Yeah. They do that every year, actually, around like Christmas time.
Sure, I guess to get Matt. All right, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So I did that, and then after that, it was just a bunch of like jobs through like temp agencies, warehouse work and shit, shipping, receiving, stuff like that.
When did you get into music? Like, I know you were in it, but when did you start like, I'm gonna be in music and start making, like, thinking about I'm gonna make it, you know?
Oh, fucking, so that idea didn't come about until fucking my cousin started coming around skateboarding and shit. I was like 13, 14 years old, and he used to do music. He used to rap and shit. And fucking, he
Anything
saw.
we know?
You said what?
Anything we know? Like, did he?
Oh no. Like
nothing.
He never. Yeah, he never got to the point to where he was actually like releasing music. He just used to rap, write and shit like that.
Cool.
And this was what, around 2004, 2005, maybe.
How old are you?
I was like,
no, how old are you now? I'm sorry.
Oh, how old am I now? Fucking, I'm 36, gonna be 37.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
I was just trying to figure out where, like, did we grow up in similar time, which we kind of did. I was about 84, so I'm 40, but anyway, 41.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're a few years older and shit. But yeah, so you know, he came around, fucking, he saw that I was into music, and then fucking he was like, bro, you know all these fucking songs, like you got them all memorized. Like, he was like, why don't you try writing your own music or something, like, you know? And I'm like, bro, I don't know, like, what the fuck? Like, I used to freestyle a little bit with my other cousins and shit, just fucking around, making some funny songs and shit. And so fucking, I was like, he gave me the CD with some beats on it and was like, yo, fucking, he was like, I'm about to hop in the shower. He was like, when I get out, bro, he was like, I need a verse written. I'm like, all right.
How long you take showers, man? Shit.
Right. And it wasn't long. That was crazy. He didn't take long, bro. It was probably like fucking 20 minutes. I had 2 verses written by the time he got out. And fucking
10
to 2
minutes
different.
verse. That's not bad.
Yeah. So
First
fucking
time too.
yeah, exactly. I fucking spit that shit, had it memorized at that fast too.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
amazing. I don't know how you guys how you do that. Punch was just practicing. He got accepted to perform at Lollapalooza, dude.
Yeah.
And he was talking, he's got like 3,000 songs. And you know, he probably doesn't remember all of them at that moment, but dude, how do you keep all of that in you? And then my wife, we were thinking about how many songs do you know with other artists? How many lyrics? How much information do you think that like equals up to be, dude? When you start thinking about the genres that you know, the artists, the amount of albums that they have, dude, and in your own.
Yeah. And then my own. And then like it's crazy, bro, because it's like I was like that. I knew every song I had, I knew word for word, bro. It was like it was crazy, bro. They used to call me the walking karaoke machine, nigga, because it was,
That's awesome.
yeah,
That's pretty fucking awesome, though.
And
that's funny.
I want to say I get that music side from my dad a lot. You know what I mean? It was like my mom, you know, she had her input, but it was like the knowledge of music came from my dad because it was like you play any band, bro, from like the fucking 80s and shit. This motherfucker can tell you exactly what band it is, what song it is, the year the album came out, and how many times this motherfucker done went and seen them in concert. Like, I'm like, what the fuck?
What was his like favorite genre?
He liked a lot of shit. He definitely liked a lot of the like 80s rock. You know what I mean? Rock music and shit. He liked the Metallicas and the shit like that. The Def Leppard. Cool. You know what I mean? He liked a lot of that.
So yeah, dude, I could see where that kind of trickled down into you a bit, actually, from what I hear on your stuff, how lyrically, all of it, like I kind of see the influence of it.
Yes,
you're like hardcore.
You know? I'm a fan of all genres, bro. Like all music. I just love music, bro. I don't care what it is. I'll listen to some classical shit. I'll listen to I like golden oldies, bro. Like shit from the fucking 50s and 60s, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like I listen to everything.
Dude, hey, I think about it when I walk around and work. I got headphones in, and I think, man, they would never get. I would put $100. I'd put a 1,000 if I had it, but I'd put $1,000 on the line to bet you could not guess even the genre of music that I'm listening to, you know, while walking around. So, you know, they look at me and they have this thought of what, dude, you know what he listens to, right? And it's like, you know, I'm walking around listening to Alanis Morissette, actually. You know, it's really good. Dude, her old school shit is really good, you know. And I like shout, let it all out, dude. I got that on there, man. It just my circle of, or like on my one playlist, it's so out there, dude. You know, it's really out there.
Same way, and I've always been that way, bro. Like people would, all right. So remember when we used to have the MP3 players?
Yeah.
Remember when they came out? Like, so fucking, I used to convert my songs, bro, down and shrink them to like fucking 2 megabytes, bro. Fucking, and then fucking throw hella fucking songs on there and have like 1,200 songs on my MP3 player. And then so fucking people would borrow it and be like, hey, let me see what you're listening to. And then they would come back to me like an hour and a half later and be like, bro, you good? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Like, bro, you got all types of shit on here, bro. Like,
yeah, what, you didn't like my Britney Spears? What's up?
right,
You know?
right, bro. Nigga, I had the NSYNCs, nigga, fucking
like for real though, man. Look,
from you'll hear some Britney Spears and then hear some Corn after that. Like,
yes, dude, straight up, man, for real though. I was just listening. It was like, who was it? I think it could have been a King ISO or X. And then immediately Alanis Morissette had popped up. It was like, that is so different, you know.
yeah, no,
And
for real,
yeah,
for
but
real.
it gives me the same. Dude, I'm the same type. Well, you know, there's different energy in some of the songs, but it still gives me that, like, oh yeah, dude, I'm fucking bobbing my head, liking what I'm listening to.
Because it's like, bro, the way that I am, like, it's like I feel each song, you know what I mean? And it's like easy for me to jump in to that mindset when that song comes on. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's like a lot of songs like take me to different times of from when I first heard that song, or any time that I was listening to that song when something was happening or anything like that. It's like time traveling through music. You know what I mean?
Yes, dude. They do say smell is like the strongest link between for memories. I get it, which I've only heard that side. I can imagine sounds in some way could be similar, like that, because it does it, dude. I hear a song like a funky Comedina or something, you know, that was around in there, and it throws me back into when I was like 5-6 years old, living in Lake of the Ozarks, walking, and we lived in a house that was converted into like 3 houses. We lived in a house, and you go down a hill, and then there's a road, and then these houses are on the lake, literally on the lake. So we almost lived on the lake, and I would go down and walk that road all the time and find turtles and stuff. And it literally, every time I hear it, just it throws me right back there, dude, to that moment, you know. I like it, man. Nostalgia, it's overwhelming, you know. It feels great.
Yeah.
So what was in your mind, what was your most influencing music that you would listen to? What like really drove you into, okay, I'm doing it, and like what artists specifically?
So I always find myself liking the darker music. So when it comes to like hip hop, rap, and stuff like that, I was listening to a lot of Brother Lynch at the time. And you know, ever since I was little, fucking like my mom used to listen to Brother Lynch and shit like that. So fucking I was already listening to shit. And then when I got older, I started finding more of his music. So I was listening to that. Eminem was fucking popping at the time. So fucking I had his album, the Slim Shady LP. So that influence, you know what I mean? And then fucking X Rated. I was listening to X Rated. I was listening to it was just everything. Anything I was listening to at the time, you know what I mean? And then that based on how I was feeling. It was like, okay, this is it. But it was like those were the artists I felt like I could relate to. And then like I listened to E40, shit like that, you know what I mean? Then I listened to a lot of like artists on the East Coast, DMX type shit. You know what I mean? I listened to Nas, Jay-Z, you know, all types of people. But yeah. But the dark shit though, it was like, man, and because I like horror movies, you know what I mean? And it was like, oh shit, this is like this, like, you know.
Yeah, your persona is on the darker side. I mean, you carry a machete, you know, if
like,
you see that thumbnail.
I mean, like my mind has always been dark. You know what I mean? It was like I used to have crazy ass thoughts of fucking, you know what I mean? Like the things that I can do to people, like, you know, like
men are capable of well, humans, but men still man
Mhm.
are capable of just the most
Oh yeah,
terrible things,
but like,
and
bro, I used to think these things at a young age. You know what I mean? It was like I'm like 6 years old thinking some crazy shit. Like, you know what I mean? And it's
in
like
well, what did you watch horror movies from that age already?
I did. I did. I was young watching horror movies. So
Same here, dude. I think I was 4 or something, and I watched the first
yeah,
one was Predator, and then it was like Child's Play, and then Nightmare on Elm Street.
yeah.
And I was like 4, 5, 6 years old watching these movies. I don't think children should be watching those movies
Oh no,
at
no, no.
all.
That probably had a lot to do with it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I
of course.
first horror movies I watched was The Exorcist, which is probably definitely something a kid shouldn't be watching.
Dude, that had to have
That type of shit
a
can really happen.
horrible impact, dude, on you
Yeah,
for sure. Excuse me.
bruh.
Yeah. Oh
Like
my God,
I
that one's
recall, I
that's a rough
recall my
one.
mom always telling me like the first time I watched that movie, the
Yeah.
part where fucking there's the flash and then like the devil shows up behind her. I guess when that shit happened, bruh, I took the fuck off out the room, nigga. Like soon
Gone.
as like, I didn't know nothing about what was what, bruh. I just knew that it wasn't right. I took the fuck up off out of there, nigga.
That
Gone.
faster than the part when she comes crawling down the steps backwards.
Right, right. But yeah,
Man, that's
like
a
I
good
just,
movie.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I used to scare.
Supposedly that movie is so they changed the sex of the person. It was supposed to be about a boy
Hmm.
instead of a girl, and it was supposed to be based in somebody in St. Louis, is
Mm,
what I heard. So it's supposed to be based on true events or
yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. But that's like the lore. I don't know if that was ever true. That's just what I was told growing up, especially
Everything
being from
I've
St. Louis.
always heard about, like it's always been like it was supposed to be legit, you know.
Hey man, evil's out in this world,
Oh yeah,
and,
oh
and
yeah,
it tries to touch us all the time, dude, all the time, man.
oh
So
yeah, definitely.
just
I've
don't
had
play
some,
with it too much.
I've
Uh,
had some encounters.
Curious, are you religious?
No, I wouldn't say fully religious, like as far as like I have a set religion. I do
Mhm.
believe that there is a higher power. You know what I mean?
Were you
Um,
raised? Were you raised religious at all, like your
uh,
family?
really, I did attend church and stuff a lot when but it was like a Christian church, so I guess Christianity would be what I was mostly around. Let's just say that.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, because I want to say my grandma, she wasn't Christian. I want to say she was Catholic.
Yeah, it was
Actually,
gonna be. I mean, dude, just you said Grant. Well, I guess you didn't. Oh, yeah, she's from St. Louis. Yeah, so it probably would have been like around these areas, either Baptist,
yeah,
Christian, or
you know,
Catholic.
no, no, it was Baptist. She was Baptist. That's what she was. She
She
was Baptist. Yes, yes. But
strong beliefs,
she never
bros.
really like instilled that on us. You know what I mean? Like she never really. She was just like, if that's something that y'all want to do, then that's on you. You know what I mean? She gave us the choice, but we did go to church and shit like with our cousins and stuff like that. But me, like once I really like started reading the Bible and stuff like that, I was like, okay, some of this don't make sense. Some of this does. And then I started reading some other things and stuff, and I'm like, okay, some of this makes sense, some of this don't. I'm like, okay, maybe there's a little bit of truth in everything, and then there's some bullshit in it. So I know there's something out there.
I
Yeah,
would I would agree with that. It's definitely very hard to interpret what you're reading in that way, and this is
yeah,
why you just for anybody out there, and if ever you're trying to revisit something like that, that's why the was it ecclesiastical. You need to have something with actual grounding and backing and
yeah,
authority to interpret it for you to let you know that you're being because this is where a lot of people get in. Well, I read this and it says that. It's like, okay, well, who's telling you that? Like, well, the Holy Spirit tells me. So, okay, well, what if I read it and the Holy Spirit tells me something different?
Yeah,
How do
no,
we
no.
determine,
That's what
how do
it's
we know?
for.
Right. So,
Everybody's
but it is. So what I'm saying is, it is very particular, and a lot of it means, it means particular things, and to have it interpreted by yourself, it's
yes.
very difficult, and it can be, when I read it too, it's very confusing in some of the things. Now,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I find is that a lot of people don't understand the difference between Old Testament and New Testament, which Old Testament is Jew law. It was Jewish people who followed that law,
Mm-hmm.
and then Christ was born, and the new covenant was made. So this becomes what we as Christian, I'm a Christian, we as
Mm-hmm.
Christians follow that law. All this
Yeah.
old stuff, it does not apply to us at all. We aren't even those people, we're
Yeah. Yeah.
these people. So it just, people don't, they say stuff about slavery to Christians. Like, well, a couple things. One, that was Mosaic law is what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
So it's for Moses's people and all them. Christian law was different. It literally, in that book, the Christian abolitionists, I think is what it was, they utilized the Bible and that part of it to help fight against slavery, actually, because of the Bible says that it's not good. Now, the old stuff, they're talking about indentured servitude, which is actually what people would do, like peasants would go to noble families and say, hey, I'll work for you, and that's why it says in the Bible, after they serve after they're done with their servitude, you pay them the money, land, and a donkey. And that's because it's a deal. It's a deal that they hashed out with the people. It wasn't that they were slaves.
Mm-hmm.
They needed protection, food, or shelter in some way, and they cut a deal with people who had it and say, "I'll work for you for free for shelter and all this." And then after, though, you send them with that. And so that's why it says treat your slave like this. You can't do that to them, and
Yeah.
blah blah blah. So it's just like, and they're like, oh, but it promotes slavery. Like, nah, man. Actually, the Egyptians, didn't God completely like wipe out the Pharaoh because he had people in slavery? Free my people. Like, what are you talking about? So again, yes, interpreting that can be very, very difficult, and I can see where it would stray people away when you don't have anybody like backing you on it. And then also you got to have that real interest in it, or else it just kind of, it with the confusion in that, dude, it'll fade away. So yeah, it's tough, man. That's why I call it a narrow path,
No,
but so yeah, I was just curious with that. So you're like agnostic now. You believe that there's the higher power.
yes.
You just don't know which, one that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just,
I wouldn't say, let's just say all right. So I wouldn't say as far as like which one, you know what I mean? I feel like that the divide of religion was purposely done. You know what I mean? I feel like it's all one. You know what I mean? It's all one. Maybe they all exist. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like maybe they all exist, and
well, they all exist. It's just
but
which one is right. But yeah,
not even which one's right. It's just like we're taught that is the only one amongst
so
that religion. What if they
Hinduism.
all exist? You know what I mean?
Hinduism, I believe it might be the oldest. I think it is the oldest religion.
Mm-hmm.
So if people wanted to be like, well, oldest must be right. They believe that it was like the being did Om and created the universe, and then there was a snake and a lotus grew out of the belly button and sprouted the god that made the heaven and earth or something like that. Like, dude, I'm totally messing. I'm like, I used to have it down pat. They're what they believed in. That was so bad, and I apologize to anybody who's Hindu that might come across this. I did not.
But
I butchered it.
okay, there's, in each one, there's some shit that makes sense, some shit that don't make sense. You know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
But
I get what you're saying. Sure.
yeah, if you take the shit that makes sense out of all of these, you might got the right message. You know what I mean? But it's
All
like,
right, fair enough.
let's just say they all deliver the same message, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
sometimes.
what's the
Again,
underlying behind each religion? You know what I mean? Like, you live
yeah.
your life and you're good. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Some of them, hey, so here's one. When we came here, there were some indigenous tribes that were sacrificing kids, and as Christians, we were like, that's not cool. I don't care what religion you think you are. And I believe we slaughtered them. I think, we took them down. There's all of them. Didn't even care. Like, we're not even gonna try to give you the benefit of the doubt. Like, we don't take people who kill kids, right? And yeah, so I would say I get what you mean, though. All right, all in the end, we're all supposed to be serving a higher power, whatever that goal may be. Could be interpreted into all kinds of different ways from all different people in that way. So fair enough on that, though.
It's like you know what I mean? We all know and have like that feeling of what's right and what's wrong. You know what I mean? It's like, you know.
I do believe. I do believe that 100%. I don't think that
so you listen to that and you're good. It's like,
I think so. I think, dude, there's no way they weren't doing that sacrifice and being like, man, there's no way that they weren't second guessing any of it. But dude, they believed that they were doing the right thing. So I don't know, man. That to me, how do you not know that that's bad?
No, look. Their mind believed it, but deep down in their spirit,
yes,
that it was like there was some questions.
Had to be.
As they're grabbing limbs, getting ready to fucking
right.
Somebody looked into somebody else's eyes and was like, bro,
like,
sure, that's right.
Yeah, like, you know it, dude. Absolutely, you know it. I would not. There's no way I believe any other. Yeah, dude, no way. Yeah. There's no way. Unless true evil, which, there are people with that, but then they know they're doing something wrong. They just don't care. So it's like, you know.
But you still know. You still know.
It's written on your heart.
I just feel like as long as you fucking live your life right and don't do the stupid shit, like, you should be fine. You know what I mean? Like, and you believe.
I do. I very much so used to believe that too, and I think that that's a really, really good start of living, because it leaves you open, for one, for goodness, and then for two, for more answers. Because no matter what, if you have your mind open to that, if something hits you that makes sense, to start swaying you to an actual decision, to like, oh wait, now I want to move here. You can only do that when you have the start belief that there is something, and it got whatever wants something from you. What is that? And then that you start shifting. So you got to start with that whole premise, though, that there is. So that's
what I mean. It's like I've always had that thought, like, okay, well. Oh shit! Did I freeze up?
Yeah, a little bit. You started a robot.
Oh no!
I hear you though. Still.
Okay. But yeah. So it's like, what if I end? You know what I mean? And then I get to that realm, and I'm like, all these fucking higher powers are sitting there looking at me, and I'm like, damn,
all of them.
Like,
they're all sitting there,
and I'm like
all Buddha, fucking Jesus. You got
you know what I mean?
Allah. Like, they're all just like,
because I'm also kind of big on conspiracies. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I'm like, what if the darker force? What if all of these religions were all in one book at one point in time, and they just split this shit up? Boom. separate everybody. And that, because think about this, half the time any war we've ever entered been about religion or money.
Yeah, it's mostly territory, but I
That
do.
too. That too. But there's money based. There's religion
Yeah, there's a
involved.
lot.
You know what I mean?
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, the Crusades and stuff, like there's a lot
Yeah.
of
But you know what I mean? It causes separation amongst us. You know what I mean? When you have that, because it's like each religion is teaching their followers that they're the only one that's right. So that instantly causes separation amongst us.
It's so funny. It's like, yeah, man, you're kind of speaking Christianity right there, though, because Jesus came to divide, not to unite. Most definitely, he came to divide us from the faithful and the faithless. And then when you talk about the separating thing, have you ever heard of Babel? So, oh my God, I know it's called something else. There was a time where like people had the message or something, they were spreading like not the faith base but the fact base or something, man. And again, I'm misquoting all of this, but this is where God went and made everybody start speaking different languages, and it was very difficult for us to communicate to each other because they were doing false idols or something like that. Like there was all kinds of crazy shit going on in that way. But yeah, that I think that us not communicating has been, or having different perceptions of things, has been a very big, like, obviously we can't connect on it, nobody can connect. It's rough. It makes it rough. For sure. Well, back to music stuff. What was your first song that you recorded?
First song recorded. So that was when I was with like Curb Serving Records. I was signed with Mr. Peabody. He's an artist from out here. Let me see, what was it? I can't even remember the name of the song, but the album that it was a part of is called Lost Angels. And that
Still
album
we can still find it like on any social media or any.
A couple songs have been released, re-released from that album. My song Talk About Me, and Kill Some. Those two songs were from that album originally. And they are the only songs from that album. I had pressed up like 50 copies, physical copies. Yeah. So anybody, those copies are the only ones with that album.
Somebody, if you're out there, you need to upload that shit.
Yeah.
Get that out there. Because that would be great, man, to get it on digital.
Yeah, it was like a 12-track project. That's when I first met Unseen Asylum. My boy YP, the co-leader. He's the one who's been producing all my music now. You know what I mean? He did Goat Hanger. He
YP, just did. If you're watching, can you come feed the dogs? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He did the last two songs that just dropped. The SAD SAD. He did motherfucking Surprise. He did Surprise. Yeah. We're also working on the new Swifty Myers album.
Yeah. So before, I'm seeing you're doing a lot of stuff is coming up, man. You've been working hard, dude. And I'm watching. I am watching you grow, dude. It is amazing seeing. I'm so honored to be able to just watch you guys skyrocket where you belong.
No, because for real, like, because we had we've been tapped in for a little while. It was before all of this shit started happening.
Yeah, like 2, 3, 4 years, 3 years.
Yeah, probably about like 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a minute, dude. I feel privileged and honored to be able to see y'all been working so hard, dude. Finally, it's starting to really pay off, man. So before we get to what's happening now, which is very exciting.
Yes.
I want you to try and think back to what you would think, because I got two questions, man. I like to ask musicians. One of them, what do you think the worst song is that you put out that after you released it, and it's still out there that we can find? I want us to be able to find it. A song that you were like, man, why did I put that shit out there? But you still left it out there because, you know, you just did.
It would be to Kill Some, the one that from the original album that I re-released.
It usually goes back to the old, you know, it's from the
only reason why, bro, is because
origins.
It's because the beat, when Peabody sent me the beat, bro, he was like, all right, bro, I want you to do a club song. Make a club song. I was doing all types of dark shit. He was like, I need a club banger, something that we could play in the clubs. I was like, okay. I was like, all right. I was like, did you know who you're asking to do this?
Right. I don't really have that in my bag yet.
Yeah, but I was like, I can make a club song because I listen to all types of music. I've studied. I know what to do on it, the type of vibe to bring. But my mind is gonna go all the way south.
The lyrics are gonna be dark. Are you gonna have like an upbeat fucking poppy type song with these dark ass lyrics with it? What,
bruh, go back and look at my song.
I'm definitely going to, dude. Most definitely gonna look that up.
So pretty much the story, it's a story. I tell a story, bruh, about a serial killer who goes to the club and picks up women to bring back and kill them.
Fuck, dude, this is your club song, dude. It's like a fucking warning anthem that you're like, hey, who we got in here right now? What kind of fucking serial killer's trying to get me? Dude, that's hilarious. That is so funny, man. That really is.
It's fucking 3 verses on that motherfucker. It tells the story of how it happened and everything. Fucking. But yeah, the hook is dope as fuck. But that song was one of my most popular songs when it came out, and I was performing it. Like, I would go to a venue and people like, bro, you gonna perform Kill Some tonight? Like, please tell me you're performing that song, bro. Like,
okay. I like it. So I'm getting an echo.
Yeah, it's echoing now.
And
hold on, I might have to put my phone on the charger. Hold on.
I think it's cleared up a little too. Nope. It's that echo.
Yeah, I need one.
Sorry about that. While we're doing this, guys, please hit that like, share it out, subscribe if you're not already. Definitely go follow Swift Homicide right here. Very talented man. Doing a lot of good things coming up too. We're about to get into that, so stay tuned. I think it might have froze on his side. Well, you guys get to look at me for a minute. Yeah, again, like I said, go check out his music. Go check out the. Oh, it dropped. He'll probably pop back up. We'll give it a minute. Yeah, dude has got great music. We were on here with excuse me, hold on. Excuse me. We were on here with rapper Young D. They have some collaborations together. I like Vibe, awesome, awesome song. Let's see here. Excuse me. Don't know if I have to send the link again. Probably not. Phone might have died. We'll get him back on. Check out any. I said, what do you say? He's on all platforms. Oh man, I said vibe. That's punchline. It's a catch a vibe. My bad. For Swift and Young D. It's on my playlist for sure. It's a good song. Let's see. I don't think I have to resend the link. I think the same one will work, but he has to log in. I'm just trying to check in real quick. We were right there at the end too. The last two questions, usually I kind of like to get into what was the worst song in their opinion that they released, and then I like to ask, and if he's listening, he can kind of think about it right now, but what is a song that you had released and you thought like this was going to be a banger, it's going to hit, people are going to it's going to take off, but it didn't get as much attention as you wanted it to, and that way also we get to kind of plug the song again and see if it can, start the ball rolling. So yeah, sometimes, man, they have ambitions. I mean, not even some dude. These guys, they work so hard, to get out there and to push their message, their story, their art, and sometimes it just doesn't get received right. And I don't know why. I think it's all marketing, maybe. I just don't get it. Every time I show people any of the artists that I listen to, they're like, yeah, this is good. I know. That's why I listen to it. I don't listen to crap. And I don't understand. If everybody that I show it to, I mean, we'll say 90%, because I show it to a lot of people, and there's idiots out there that just say dumb shit. But 90%, and probably higher than that, if they like it, why doesn't this just explode? Why doesn't it? I don't understand. I know. Well, no, man, I go through states, different states. I'm always traveling. Me and the wife, we were living on a school bus going through the states, kind of, I know people. I've been everywhere, man, and everybody likes it. So it pisses me off, man. Like, why are my people struggling so hard, man, to get their to get their music out there? Then, if everybody vibes with it, I'm not getting it. And I think the conspiracy theorist in me, as Swift was saying, He's kind of like one of them conspiracy people. Excuse me. Me too, a little bit. I start thinking about, I've been shadow banned before. I might be still because this is the same like IP address, and I've heard that. Excuse me. Like I had to get a whole. It was difficult after my first channel got deleted. It was difficult for me to start a new one because I needed like it was associated with the same IP address. It was crazy. It just kind of goes to show how far the algorithm will push you up or pin you down. And I feel like there's forces out there beyond our comprehension, excuse me, that is keeping certain people on top and keeping others from being on top. His phone had to have died. He might be working on it. I don't know how long I'll stay on here. I can, without like really speaking for him, I can almost guarantee you I can get him back on in the future, which I want to for almost everybody that I've had on here. This is like number 15 or 16 interviews that I've done now. I would love to give all of these people a better opportunity when we grow, so that they can have more eyes on them. They're not getting the credit. I can't. Again, I've told it. I'm honored that they'll come on here. They have way bigger followings than me. I ain't got nobody. What I got on this channel right now? 81, I think. 81. But I know these people. I knew them from back when a little bit. I mean, few years, right? That's kind of back when. And I have a good rapport with them. They're really good people, and I'm able to bring them onto this little tiny nothing channel and have a good, real conversation with them and kind of show people who they are. I want you to get the some of the origin story of who they were, what kind of person they were before they are now, in front of our eyes. This is the persona that we see. Does it match to who you were? Is that the thing that made you this? I just kind of want to get in the deep dive a bit on who is the artist or who is the business, because we don't just talk to musicians. We had Brandon Lee. He is the owner of Vigilant MMA. We had Red Pill Threads. He makes fantastic clothing that is very, very on the pulse of what's happening in America these days. Messages that, some people may agree with, some people might not. I think for the most part, we can agree on some of it. So this is one. And then this one. If you don't agree with this one, somebody should be looking at your computer. Somebody should look at your computer if you do not agree with that. I try to wear this as much as I can, because that is a message worth showing the world. It's just factually true. Anyway, You know, disagree with it. That's all. Just tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that shirt's wrong. That's all. Tell me I'm wrong, and we're looking at your computer in your basement, and I bet you got a white panel van. Maybe not white, just a panel van. All right. Let's see. He hasn't even seen the message, so I just assume his phone's probably died on the fritz, maybe internet, something. Totally fine. I want to say, and if he pops up before my little exit here, of course we'll bring him back on. We only got a couple more questions, so. But if that doesn't happen, I want to say to everybody on here, thank you. I appreciate you guys coming, hanging out, listening to the conversation. Go check him out, Swift Homicide, on all platforms, all of them. He's got, man, dude, I wanted him to plug what he's got going on. Let me see if I can look up a couple of his things real quick. Excuse me, he's got something going on tomorrow. He's got something going on tomorrow. Can we get it without a reflection? Keep moving it. Oh, I need to clip my nails. My wife is probably looking at that like, dude, clip your nails. I keep moving it mirror side. Can you even see it? Is that backwards? I don't even know. Every time I see a dude with nails, man, I'm like, bro, clip them mugs. What is your problem? It's disgusting. Yeah, his phone died. You just hit me up. Yes, I do want you to join back. Like, he's gonna pop up. We're gonna give him his exit, dude, so he gets to tell us what's good. There we go. Well, he didn't see the last one just now, probably because he's joining on to the StreamYard, so that's what's up. Yeah, we'll get. I didn't want to be left up to plug in what he's got coming up, man. He's got a lot of stuff coming. Well, just big things. Big things, what I mean. Again, opportunity to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, notification bell, share it out. You know, oh, hold on. Never mind. Hold on. He needs time. I can't wait 30 minutes on here. I'm not going to talk too long. He said 30 minutes is a little long. I don't know if I could just continue. You guys don't want to hear about the other. If I started talking for 30 minutes, man, it would be about all my other stuff that I'm sure you guys aren't too interested in. You know, you can look up Fathers Fight Back on YouTube though. You might maybe like this stuff. I don't know. Probably not. You know, but yeah, we'll go ahead. Just check him out. Go on Instagram, and that's the best place to see everything that he's doing right now. Is well, maybe TikTok too, but Instagram for sure. And if you're up and coming artist or just anybody who has similar vibes to the music and want to reach out and collab with him and D, always down to collab with people, always. So yeah, if that's like your type of music, reach out. IG is the best place to reach out to anybody for real. That's where I go and talk to the various people that I get on here. So I guess a little secret sauce tip, which is not that secret, but I'm telling you, people are very active, on there, or at least used to be. I think Discord and stuff now, or Twitter. Anyway, thank you, Swift, one more time. Much, much appreciated your time on here. Sorry that it got cut out. Want to have you back for sure, please. So we can. You're always working, man. So you're gonna have something coming up anyway. At that point, hopefully it's not too far in the future, but it's okay. Everybody else, thank you again for being on here. I very much appreciate all your time and support. Again, one last time, please, if you haven't, hit the like, subscribe, notification, and share it out to people. We got other interviews on here. I got, I think this is my 15th or 16th interview. So, check them out. They're all really, really good conversations. Very organic. I don't have anything written down. I just kind of got an idea of where I want it to go. And I just talk, it's more of a conversation than an interview. So check it out. Thank you for all of the support. Catch you on the next one.